we go. Let's see. All right. Okay, that's good. That's good. What am I missing? Oh. Let's see here. Check, check, check. Anybody home? Whoops. Yo, yo. Oh. There we go. How's it going? That is Jarvis. Welcome, welcome. Glad you're here. Mike, looks like it's all right. Just always double check. I literally did one live stream. I think I went 10 minutes. I think I had forgotten to take the disclaimer off. So I have to check with you guys. All right, we'll get started. Oh, we'll give it another minute and we'll get rolling here. Got an interesting lineup. It's, it's a lot of volatility today. It's not a great day to be trading. Especially short-term trading is always challenging on Fed days. It's definitely interesting times we are in. All right, let's see what we got. We got at the top of the minute. We'll give it another minute. One of the guy on my team who edits these hates when I go for 5 minutes before starting. He has to edit it all out, so we won't go too long. Here comes the market rallying back. I'm looking over at the NASDAQ and the ES. Of course, they take it down before. It's pretty predictable. Of course, everybody's anticipating a huge spike today, new all-time highs. Sometimes when it looks so obvious, it's the last thing you'll see. Okay, we're there. All right, let's go ahead and get started. All right, let me get the disclaimer out of here. Make sure I'm good here. Okay, all right, so just for the beginning little intro here, I do this every week because we have a lot of new people, new subs, new members, just so you're clear on what we're doing here. So we're very much focused on swing trading, right? There's no day trading here, nothing really short term for you. So these are longer term plays, which means it requires a lot more patience, which I've kind of been emphasizing. Oh, let me mute. Sorry, I just had to mute my other machine. So that's the thing with these, right? You're going to see potential setups here. I mean, for example, we're looking at a 3-day chart right now. This is a very long-term trade, as you can see. When did this start, right? 2014. That's a 10-year trend. Now I'm looking at a 3-day. He sent me the daily. But if I just, oh, where's an arrow, right? If we look at this low to that high, that's 10 years. That's a 10-year trend. So one of the other things that I feel like I need to remind people that Elliott Wave, which is, big part of how we approach the structure of the market, infinitely more tradable, more usable, more effective, easier to read when you're on higher time frames. Just you get it right. If you're going to apply Elliott Wave, right, you really, as I tell people, 60 minutes or above. Right? If you're going below that, you're just trying to qualify account. It's really 60 minutes or above. So there's nothing here you're likely going to take action on today and be profiting tomorrow. These are longer term trades, right? So the key to it is that patience. Right? So it requires discipline and the willingness to sit through some volatility, right, depending on how your position and where your risk profile is. So you got to keep that in mind. And often as we do this, right, so as those of you that are regs and of course members, right, I poll the members. I want them to choose the assets, not me. I want to see how they're coming with what we're teaching them. So I always look forward to these. This is probably when I get the best look at how they're progressing. So when I look at something like this, this is from, oh, whoops, here, I got to get over here. This is from, I want to say Pilgrim. Who gave me this one? Yeah, Pilgrim, right? So he's clearly, right, he's got Elliott Wave skills. He studied, right? And he gave me the daily, but I couldn't get any context here. I mean, I don't know that I could script this any better, right? People bitch about Elliott Wave, right? It's so subjective, right? I just can't, right? I mean, do the markets move in 5s and 3s? Well, of course, not every asset you look at, not every time are you going to see perfect 5s and 3s, but it would be a very hard argument to make that this is not a common swing structure, let's say it that way, that you see in the markets, right? Particularly longer term, right? Now, again, it's not every trade, not every asset is always going to be perfect Elliott, right? Elliott Wave is not perfect. We're never here to suggest that. But when you have something like this, I mean, again, that's 10 years. Can you sit through all that? Probably not, right? Who can? Who can sit through that? Well, very few people. That would be software. So let's go down to the daily that he sent me. This is excellent work from Pilgrim. Excellent, right? So my guess is, right, he had some Elliott Wave background before he got here. Now this is a really nice flex, right? I mean, he's nailed every pivot here. Extremely well done. We get the final finish here, and then look, nice, just really high quality work. Now there's a few spots in here that are a little funky, right? That's a little, whoa. Really? We're doing a diag here to finish the 5th, but if you put it in context, can we have a diag there in the 3rd? Yeah, we can. In the 5th of the 3rd. We'll get a clean impulse here. Nice. Shit, what is pinging me? Something's making noise for me. I can't remember what it is. Hang on, I got one of my guys. Oh, somebody just asked me a quick question here, so I'll get back to him. Let's get over here to my charts. I mean, this... Boy, talk about a harsh top. I mean, that drop is, something happened there. Was that earnings related here? We'll get to the last earnings call here. It looks like that was bullish. So there's your classic. I mean, you can see a really little mini head and shoulders here, but here's your classic. Oh, don't buy the high. Don't be that guy. Right, which I talk about a lot. So impulse down, 3 to correct. Now it looks like we're doing, it's gotten a little wacky here. Well, here's a good example, right? Do we have a perfect Elliott Wave count there? No, we don't, right? I mean, can we put some count on it? Yeah, does it really matter? I'm not sure that it does. I mean, again, on a daily, I have consolidation here, right? That's how the market moves, right? We move from, well, you could probably look at the same thing here, right? You want your eye to kind of be drawn to this, right? You could, okay, so this is more consolidation up here. Why are we not rolling? I don't know, did he give me anything below? Yeah, he did. So we see nice divergence here. It's, again, kind of thing to look for, right? Is it always going to be there, always going to be effective? There is no always in the market. But that's a pretty good look at it, at the kind of divergence that might have you cautious up here going, whoa, looks like buyers have lost interest up here. Iridium Communications, I know very little about them. I think we've looked at these charts before. So very strong move, consolidation. So it's push, consolidate, push. That's how the market moves. These are just very big ranges here since we're looking at a daily. So it would look like this move here is the little bit of a, that's an oddity. Oh shit, I don't even know. I think you're likely going to have to look at this because that's impulsive, right? So you got a 1, that's a deep 2. Looks like we're doing 3, 4, 5. Looks like that's you know, when you're forecasting with Elliott Wave, right? It's not like, oh, well, the market must do this, right? Because if this is an A and we're in this contraction B, well, then here comes the C, right? It must do that, right? You don't want to think of it that way. The market doesn't have to do anything. Ever. It's not obligated to do anything based on any chart pattern. It's just that there's a probability based on price action and pattern recognition. We can look at this and say, well, you know, I say this a lot. What does it usually do? Now, do we have some channeling we could use here? Well, I'd be really focused on trying to nail this last channel down. You see, you know, how effective it is on the way up. Now, it wouldn't quite, you probably get something here. Does he have the, yeah, he does. As a matter of fact, I've been referencing this. So you have 2. So this is a really good one because we're in log scale. So it lets you draw a regression channel. So we get 2 standard deviations on either side in log scale. You can't do it with the native Ninja, or not Ninja, excuse me. I work a lot in Ninja. With the native trading view. So I can get that regression channel here. So we see a little pop here, a little pop here. This is the consolidation. Now pull it over, right? Where we consolidated before, right? It's a little bit of a, oh, there's probably Al's in there too. Oh, it might be too deep. Yeah, so there's a good sign, right? So from this low, if you were bearish, right, that we just paused briefly, right, because that software will kick there. We break it, there's the kickback, and then we're to and through. So good signs if you're bearish, right? So the question is, okay, what is there a trade here? This actually, Pilgrim, I'm guessing, I think what you meant is here because you're in between. It's not. Maybe you were after this, right? That could be what you're after, right? There's an order block here, and then we've got fair value gaps. So there would be another order block down here, all right? If I put it here, because I've got the gaps here, we're bringing this over for a possible target. I'm guessing that's what he was drawing there. If I can get that hot, so we get that would be an order block that is now is the market reacting to that? Could we turn here? Anything's possible, right? That's never the point. Is like, oh my God, there's an order block here. We must be buying it. Well, would you want to buy that? Right? Is there anything there that would suggest we'd buy? Well, then again, look how the market moves. We get conviction here, extreme orders. So we go from balance to imbalance to balance to imbalance to balance. That's how the market likes to move. So we go from aggression here to consolidation, aggression, consolidation. So the anticipation would be, oh, this could be 1, 2, 3, you know, 2, 3, 4 coming down to kick that. Now, what would the next thing you be doing? Again, I'm just applying. A lot of what I'm doing here is applying everything that we would teach you, right? Well, okay, well, there's a 1 and a 2, right? Well, where do the 3s usually go? Well, there's the highest probability location for it right there. This would be another order block. So could you come in here and 3 kickback for the 4? It certainly would make sense, but where's that putting the C? So we got to pull, oh shit, I'm going to have to go back to that 3-day. Right, so this would do it, right? So here's his golden zone. So that's from swing high to swing low, coming into that golden, right where I've got an order block. Now, could we go deeper than that? Yeah, of course, right? First, we got to get a low on that 3. Now, again, it's not obligated to come here. First, you got to wrestle with this order block here, right? So that's likely, right, what is being defended. Now, you got to look at that and go, okay, seriously, who's defending from 2019? That's only software is doing that. So, okay, could we drop a little further? Sure, we could, right? You do see the imbalances here. If I just to be sure, oh, fuck me, come here. Just to be sure everybody sees all of that in there. That's all imbalance, right? So that helps us identify a good order block, right? So because the only order block you want to pay attention to is one that kicks a fair value gap. So here's a good one, right? That creates this, and then we get another one, micros there, probably on a smaller time frame. So we're coming right back into all this support. That's on the NQ, so I could, I'd probably use this pivot here to just get a look at it. Okay, well, I got a pretty wide range here. the market will definitely see. You can almost think of a low volume node as like as a fair value gap, right? It's just, well, look where that is. Interesting, right? Because the market goes so quickly, right? There's no trading there, so you get this huge imbalance. So the market, if it's looking to rebalance that, you could certainly anticipate this coming lower, right? Does that mean short it? Well, I don't know that this is what Pilgrim is. If he's trading this on the short side, you certainly could. I'd likely trade that with options. But you're at consolidation here, and you're at a prior order block. So it's not necessarily time to take action there. My suggestion would be let it do what it's going to do. If it kicks back from here, you'd be very counter trend. What you'd be looking for is from the 4 to the 5, right? That's where the trade is, in my opinion, right? I'd try to look for, let the 3 complete, because it does not look like it's complete, because we're looking for 5 here. 1, 2, 3, 4. I need that to complete. So if you're aggressive, you know, again, I wouldn't do it though. You're sitting in an order block, right? The market likes to move to edges, the ledges of these. And if it's going to hold, it's going to hold on the ledge. If it breaks, right, it's going to the other ledge. So you've got that condition here. Where are we sitting right here? We're just on the other side of this high volume node. So we're right on the ledge here. It's not necessarily a great time to be putting on a trade. Let it do what it's going to do. Right? If there's a kickback here, now you've got a very high probability trade looking for that 4 to complete to the 5. That's where I see the trade. Now, is that conservative? Yes, that is. Right? I'm always going to give you the more conservative look at it. And that might take, you know, you could be into, you know, that could be a year. Right? So you got to recognize that, oh, these are not short-term trades, right? If I'm on a 3-day, go to the daily, right? Same difference, right? You're still going to be that. If you're trading it over here, trying to get that, you know, that could be a long wait. Well, here we can probably label this, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, looking for that 5. Right now, I like to say to people, right? Do I know that that's coming? No. There is no one anywhere ever, with the exception of perhaps the Trump family or in his inner circle, knows what's going to happen next in the market. Sorry to drop that in for all you Trump fans. But certainly there's no obligation here for the market to do that. It's just, what does it usually do? Do we move in 5s and 3s? I say that a lot, right? It would be very hard to look at this and say, no, that's all bullshit. That 5s and 3s stuff, that's so, you know, 1980. Get over yourself. Just want to draw some lines. Well, I'm not saying don't, right? There's a lot of ways to skin a cat, right? But to turn a blind eye to Elliott Wave would be just foolish, right? Now, you do have to apply a little mental capital to learn it. So clearly, Pilgrim has. Boy, has he got a good handle on this asset. I mean, he's nailing every pivot, nailed, right? So what that does, the reason you go, oh, fuck, why do I care about all of this, right? This is what's happening over here. Because you're building conviction. You're building a skill set, plus you're building conviction. Like, oh, I see it. There's the impulse. There's the correction, another impulsive move, right? So so it builds conviction the whole way through. So when it comes time to take the trade, you're very dialed into the asset because you've watched it. You've labeled it. You've ridden through all of these moves, and it builds a huge amount of conviction. So when you take that trade, you're taking it with conviction. It's not like, whoa, you cross my fingers, I hope it goes. No, right? You're like, okay, well, this is a very high probability outcome. Win or lose almost doesn't matter. It's the process that matters. Because over time, if you do that consistently with good money management, right? Always got to add the money management. With good money management, the win is going to be so significant here, it's going to offset all those little, those you know, remember, it's little losers, little winners, big winners, but you cannot have big losers, right? Only big losers allow big losers, right? So you get what you deserve in the markets, right? Always, always, always. The market is a great equalizer, right? It will give you exactly what you deserve. Remember that, right? So if you allowed a big loss to happen, it was completely self-inflicted. Most of the time, right? Now shit happens, right? But in general principle, right? If you take a big loser, you did it to yourself, period. There goes the market all the way back up, right? It's just, yeah, we can almost, on a day like today, right? So first, don't trade Fed days, right? It's never a good idea. Okay, let me move on. Thanks for that one, Pilgrim. Extremely good looking work. Now I got Andreas is back in town, right? So this is his fave. This is Bitcoin Satoshi's vision. Boy, talk about he is very committed to this asset. So where are we now? We got a, oh, could we have this? Oh fuck, man, where are we here? We're gonna go WX. Okay, I like it. This was disappointing, right? Because it looked like, well, here's a, there's a failure, right? This looked like, oh, I got a 5. So it can't fail now, can it? Well, Andreas, just for your own education here, I would encourage you to relabel this, right? Now I could do it for you, but I'm going to encourage you to do it. So it cannot be 1, 2, right? We can eliminate that. So I'm going to challenge you to see if you can come up with that for next week. Because with this breakdown here, right, we cannot, I mean, of all the rules in Elliott Wave, there are, several biggies, but you cannot overlap the start of wave 1 with wave 2, right? So that cannot be wave 2. So you got to reconsider this. What could that be? I'm gonna let you do that rather than me do it for you. So WXY, that looks reasonable, but this, right, we can't call that. As I recall, you were looking at it here as a possible 1, 2. If I take that off, you can see what's there. Oh, here, I'll give you a hint, right? So let's, not too hard. All right, so that likely, right, because your subdivision was all good. It's just, it's not a 5, right? You have to trade it as a 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, A, B, C. Right? Well, actually, you could do it this way. You do this over here. Well, you see where I'm going with that, right? So this has to be ABC, right? It's not optional, right? Again, well, call it what you want, but if you're applying Elliott Wave, right, we can't call it anything other than corrective. So did you get a little help from Al here? You might have. Is that him? Yeah, he is. Right. So there's Al, right, pulling from the 50, right? There's your target. Now, right, so you'd look at that and say, oh, okay, well, is it a buying opportunity now? Well, this asset's going to have to prove itself, right? So if you look, if you didn't know what it was and you pulled that up, it's a daily chart, what would your first instinct be? You're going to buy that? Now, I would look here at this wick, right? Again, you want to think of these. It's such a clean rejection, right? It's just a big imbalance in the market. So if it were to come back down here, you can use the 50% kind of as a mitigation there. But this price action, you certainly wouldn't think, oh, gosh, woo, I got to get on board. You get an out, right? Remember out, they like to work in a series. You got a break here, but it's all wick, right? So the algo is likely still in play here since it needs a close above to kill it. That's still a hold, I think. I don't know what else to call that. You can't call it impulsive, right? You're getting impulsive price action, but that's nothing you would look at and go, oh, 1, 2, 3, no. And of course, we can't have a 2 in a triangle. So you're kind of stuck there in more hurry up and wait. Is there a trade there? I would, from we're right to the golden zone here. You're going to buy that? Well, I wouldn't, right? If you're itching for it, let it kick and then take a little. If you've got an imbalance or something, you can play off of here maybe. But I still that Vegas wave, right? We didn't get close on the outside of the Vegas wave. There's no reason to be a buyer there. Now your Elliott work's getting better and better. What do you do with that, right? You're kind of. This may not hold. Because note here you've got this is unlabeled, right? So 1, 2, you can't. I'm gonna leave that to you. All right, you need to label that. What do you got there? What are you calling that? Something to think about. Okay, thanks for that. Thanks for posting, Andreas. CN Salazar, one of my favorite long-term members. Let's see what he's up to. Let's see what I got here from CN Salazar. Let's see. Let's go over here. Got to do a quick copy. How are we doing over there? There's Pilgrim. Pilgrim sitting in. Who else we got? Andrew's back. All right. All right. Got a strong crew here. Okay, so this is Humana. Okay, so let me get rid of this. Okay. Oh, I'm going to do this just for me. Just keeps my brain functioning. Okay. All right. So first thing, right? Love so you got a shift. Yeah, this looks like, is that shift or looks like that's shift? No, this is a modified shift, right? So this is 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Do we overlap? Good work. So it looks like you're good here. It's weird. Well, this is, oh, fuck me. We're on a monthly. Okay, let's go to the weekly. Let's just take a look here. I'm assuming we're in log. Now, we got to, so whenever you're in log, right, at least take it out of log for a second, right? Just look at it, right? You can see how it distorts your eye. So, coincidence? Maybe. Let's get that right on there. So he's pulling from if he's pulling from the absolute low, look at the 4 times we tapped that. You think that's coincidence? Well, if this is your first live stream of mine, you might think that. Anyone who's been here more than 2 knows that's not a coincidence, right? It's just software kicking. Okay, so let's go back to log scale and get a look at from his perspective. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That looks solid. Why not? Right? Big extension in the 5th. Oh Jesus! If we got to the monthly, now talk about being patient. When this is Jesus Christ, that's a 20-year. That's a 20-year trend, right? Here's my low here in 2000. My peak here is 23. I mean, you sitting through that, right? Of course not, right? So who can sit through that? Only software can, right? There is no guy going, well, I was going to retire, but I'm going to wait for this to pivot. Do we have a 3 here? No reason not to call that a 3. Is there a trade here? Well, you're going to have to be mighty patient. Let's go to a wave 4 template. Certainly doesn't look like it's finished, does it? Right? So it looks like it's a 5 down. Let's go to a weekly so we get a better look at that. All right. So I emphasize long term, and boy, do I get some long term. Okay. So we can certainly. Oh, that's a little funky there. Well, let's keep it simple. We probably got a 5 down here. Is that perfect? No. Oh, you'd want to channel that. Let's bring it in a little bit. Okay, so break. Again, this is rudimentary as the Elliott can get, right? What are we looking for? Is 3 here. Now, you got to look at that and think, okay, wait a minute. This is a massive uptrend. Why would I be positioning for a short? Well, look, we've gone from 573 to 200. That's a massive sell-off. This is where you build conviction through repetition and through price action and through screen time. The average person is going to look at that and go, oh, there's just no way I'm shorting that. There's no, why would I short that? Look at the trend that it's been in. I'm not telling you to buy it, sell it. I'm just saying we can look at the pattern recognition here. Where would the next trade opportunity be, right? You'd be somewhere in this range. Oops, right here. Now, can you wait that long? That could be 27 before we get there, right? So again, I'm emphasizing patience here, but that's some pretty that's a lot of patience. So, right, is there a trade there? Let's go down to the daily, see if there's anything to work with. It looks like you're 1 or you're A. Is Al involved there? Likely he is. Of course he is. I can't make this shit up. All right, so where's the target here? Well, we might just make the 50. All right, so if we're going to do this, something like that. You going to buy that? Well, you could actually could. Let's go down to 4 hour. If your premise is it's A, B, and then we're going to go 1, 2, or you might have a trade there. Let's zoom in a little bit. Get you right on the pivot. Well, that's not as perfect as you might like. This looks like it's too deep. They may have broken out there. Yep, they did. That's a skinny little diag to get that done. Well, your premise would be that this is going to go into a 3, 4, 5. Now, can you wait for that? Should you wait for that? Well, you can see the big imbalance right here that's now been mitigated. Not fully, right? You want to get on the other side of that. A trade? I don't know that that's something I would chase. You don't have great subdivision there, right? So you would have liked to have seen a deeper 2, or so you could lean into it a little bit more. And this is barely, we're just going to straight free fall, right? So is that the 2? Well, you're too late for a trade here, really, on the long side, right? You wouldn't want to be buying it up here towards these pivots, right? So if there's a retrace there, perhaps you get an opportunity, right? If we do something, we get this down here, maybe there's that fair value gap. You can trade off of that, but in the meantime, right? Discount premium, right? Just common sense stuff here. You're buying towards the high end, not the low end. Was there a trade here? Well, you can see that you had the same thing here. You had another imbalance right here. Went right to the edge of it. Meaning you had an order block. Well, you probably use this whole thing down here. You had an order block down here. Oh, right. And here's your, you probably got to change the state of delivery right here, right? Even though it wicked and rejected, then the next kick. So, okay, tradable, maybe, but it's too soon, right? You're waiting for this. You got to wait for that to kick back. That's what I see there. Seeing Salazar. Good thinking, but you wouldn't want to buy up here. You got to wait for that, especially in swing trading. But again, that could be a month before that happens. But thanks for posting. Right, I was pushing these guys to give us some posts because the members were kind of lazy this morning. Okay, so I got that for CN Salazar. Okay, here comes Crypto Janus. Now Crypto Janus, he likes trend lines, so we're likely to see a lot of them here. So let's see what he's got. We're going to get the Fed announcement here likely while I'm on. Oops, what happened there? What'd you give me, Crypto Janus? That didn't work. Let's see, is that H5? That is what you gave me. Shit. Okay, so let's see here. I hate to load this up. Let me try again. Shit. Maybe if you're watching Crypto Janus. Oh, there we go. Now I got it. Something weird happened last time. Okay, so let's save that. Okay, so we got it. That's good news. Okay, so we are doing Bitcoin. High left. All right. Now, he likes a lot of trend lines, which I encourage. I don't discourage. I encourage. It's just it's much harder to do when it's not your chart. Right? It's when you drew them all. Right? It's much easier to spot it. I'm going to change this just so it's easier to see with my color palette here. Unless here I'm going to do this just for I do this for me. I do think it makes it easier to spot. Just see. Okay, so here's where are we? So the Elliott count in Bitcoin is it's a bit of a wag for everybody. Things we can say objectively. Well, this is, of course, is impulsive, right? Here's the correction, right? We correct and we come back down and challenge the low again. So what would your thought be? A, right, that's probably a good thought. Okay, well we gotta label. So just to, I don't say this to be tapping your knuckles with a ruler, but just you don't want to leave anything unlabeled, right? So here's 3. What is it? What are you calling that? Here's 3 again. Now we go. What are you doing here? Oh fuck me. A, B, C, B, C. I'm not sure what you've got there. Here's our golden zone up here. So what we can see if we're looking at it from this swing to this low, as we're coming back, here's the golden zone right here, right? It happens to be in sync with the 100. It looks like he's pulling this swing from this low. So we've got confluence right here as he's demonstrated through that hot box. Let me do this. I think you'll see it better. Okay, there we go. So W, that's a candidate. God, this is probably hard for you guys to see. What are you doing here? I gotta get this back here. So if this is 1, here's the 1. God, that's a lot of lines. Okay, let me get some of this out of here so I can make sense of what he's got going here. I know we just looked at that, right? So there's the hot box. Let's leave that. Okay, so let me take that up so we can get the bigger. Let's get that in something bright so we can see it. Okay, so the premise is we've done an A, we're going to do a B, and we're going to come down for a C. Well, and okay, so this is well done. So he's looking at this going, okay, it's A, B, C. Okay, we could finish here, right? That would be a 2. A, B, C. So if we pull back on that, it would be, Jesus. Oh, come here, right? So it would be 1, 2, right? If we finish here, we're going big, right? Big, big, big. If it's not that, and certainly the macro backdrop, right, is very accommodating to more growth in crypto and certainly in Bitcoin. So he's giving you 2 possible outcomes. What is that one? Yeah, that would be. So we'd be going. No, that's not it. So we're going to go A, B. If we're going to get an impulse down to the C, right, we'd be coming in here. Well, if we're done here, I got to do the same thing here. Hang on, guys. This is a tricky one because he's got so much on here. All right, so W, X, A, B, C into a Y. There's the Y. Right, so this would be 1, 2, right, and we go. Although I think we'd go a little differently here. Now, the other thought is if this is A, B, and we're going to go down for a C, this could go much lower, right? The C could, if we get an impulse here, and he's kind of suggested that if we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? We still could have a C down here. Now we'd be at 72. We'd be down at, deeper. We'd be challenging that low. It's possible, of course, right? Anything's possible. Probable. I would take the other side of that, right? I don't think that is probable, but it is certainly possible. So could we do 1 A, B, right? We're going to go down that far? I think not, right? So, but certainly you'd want to be paying attention to this area down here, right? That's where we invalidate any idea of this being 1, 2. So A, B, C, I like it, up here a little bit better. That's going to be your Y, W, X, A, B, C. So we're just looking for 5 down. This wouldn't be surprising, really, because literally the whole planet is bullish Bitcoin. I mean, I've been sending a lot of stuff over on X to kind of back that up, right? So a lot of very different, sources. The thing that makes you the most nervous about that is, maybe that's the wrong word, but if we're going to be bulls and climb a wall of worry, what's the worry is that everybody is so bullish. Well, I mean, look at the equity markets, right? I mean, we're at, NVIDIA is at now 5 trillion. There will be others joining them. I mean, we're at levels of wealth creation that, we've never seen in the history of humanity, right? I mean, this is remarkable times to be in and to be trading, right? And building a skill set on trades, right? It doesn't mean, buy NVIDIA today, but you probably wouldn't want to sell it. So ABC, as we come down here, okay, could if Bitcoin came down into the 100 range, right? I would be buying it as fast as I would be literally mortgaging. Well, I shouldn't say that. I'd be buying it as fast as I could. If we get one more dip down towards 100 in Bitcoin, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Right, so even though you look at that and go, oh God, I don't want to root for it to sell off. Oh, my portfolio is going to go down. Well, what, are you short-term trading or are you thinking 3 to 5 years? Where do you think? Well, I just posted a sailor was interviewed this morning where he thinks it's going to be. I don't know. I think he had 20 million, but 10 years, something along those lines per Bitcoin. Let's get to 1 million per Bitcoin, and then we can talk beyond that. ABC, right? So there's nothing here to say buy it. That's the bad news, right? After going through all of this, that's the bad news. Nothing here to say, I got to buy it. Now, when I say that, I'm not saying, oh God, don't buy it. It's not going up. That's never what I'm saying. I'm just saying, looking at the TA here, is there any reason to be looking at this as, oh, I'm at a significant point here, I should be looking to get long? You know, even this is a little, it's very sloppy price action, right? Note there are very few fair value gaps in here. A few little micros, they're quickly filled in. There's nothing here that says, oh man, this thing is ready to rock. Now, I always am hesitant when I say something like that, because as soon as I say that, right, it'll, you know, over the weekend we'll be at new highs. But there's nothing here that would suggest, oh, okay, time to buy. Oh, I think he had drawn the golden here. If we come down a little bit lower, but even still, what are you going to call this? A diag? I suppose you could get away with that. It would have to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to get you out of here, but then you're finishing over here. It doesn't play as well to finish over here. So don't be surprised if it's coming down. If we're coming down here to finish the C, right? That would be the path of least resistance. Again, with everybody, you know, absolutely sure we're going to get the end of the year rally. Okay, right? As soon as everybody's sure of it, right, look for opportunities lower. So that's kind of a mess right there. I wish there was something here that looked better, but there's no reason here to be a buyer. Nothing. Well, let me rephrase that. If you're considering to be on the buy side here, you have no edge here. There's no edge to you or for you. Well, let's see. What was it? I could at least I'm not. I'm on crypto. I'm on Binance here. So even if I pulled from that low, okay, we're coming right back into the value area. Maybe POC, right? You get a bounce there, right? You know there's going to be a lot of volume there, but again, there's nothing here saying it's time to buy. So I would put that in the watch and hold. Okay, so now we're going to go over to ETH, which it looks like I got to go to a new chart. So let me try that again. Okay, let me copy that here. I'm keeping an eye on you guys. Here we doing on time. Okay, ETH is, what did you tell me? High right. High right. ETH, it doesn't look a whole lot better. Okay, now I know, again, I know this is hard here when it's not yours. That's so many lines. I'm going to take some of these out here, not to disrespect his work, but just so we can see what the hell, where the hell we are. Oh, Jesus, man. Okay, so this is, all right, so here's our golden. Let me get a golden in there. All right, so we tag the golden here, right? So swing down. Do you see how precise this is? I mean, I literally, like, boom. Look, we hit it twice. Boom. Again, that's not Billy over at BlackRock saying, oh, boom, hit the sell button, right? It's just software doing that. So 1, 2, okay, where are we going? Continued weakness, as I'm reading his note, reaccumulation trading range. Everybody's so sure. Oh, I gotta push this over. I mean, does there anything there that says, oh, gotta buy it? We've got a good candidate here for the third here. I know that's very hard for you guys to see here. I'm going to move some of this. It won't affect the stuff on his chart. It's just for me. Oh, fuck. Here. Let's get that out of there. Just so we can clean it up a little bit. There's another one out of here. I'm going to clean it up a little bit so we can see it better. Golden established. That's established. Okay, so what are we looking at here, right? There's not a lot of clarity. A, B, C, D, E could be a triangle going in. Very hard to forecast a triangle until it's done, right? You really need to see the D, E before you start leaning on it. I suppose here that it's the same idea he's proposing here. We're going to go W, X, A, B, C. A, B, C, W, X, Y. You know, think of it 3, 3, 3. That's what it looks like to me. As we look at this, so as we push down here, where's the obvious target? Right down here. Interesting, they didn't sweep it here when we had that puncture. We did not get to the obvious liquidity. So looking below where, I'm just going to do this again so I think it's easier to see, right? So here's the target, right? So look how, God, that's beautiful. Look how this plays, right? So if we go from W to X, I'm sure he had this. I'm sure he did. I think I just erased it. So here's your hot box here. Oh, right, so you got imbalances over here. So here's your order block right there, right below it. Here are the imbalances, right? As we go up, right, we imbalance, right? Does the market need to come back and correct that? Well, you can see it's the same kind of thing. If we come down here, people are going to be freaking out. Oh my God, what happened to the end of the year rally? What happened? What happened? Who's going to accumulate down here? Probably not retail. Retail is going to get bent over. You are going to be down here going, oh, if it comes down here, please, right, back the truck up. That's a 4 hour. Could ETH come down to 3,200? Well, again, it's much like Bitcoin going to 100,000. If it does, so I'm not saying put the kids' tuition money in, but maybe pull it out of some other assets because you may not get another shot at that. Now, I don't know that it's going there, but certainly it looks like that's. Well, you get look at it this way: the markets are putting in new all-time highs. At you know, it's insane. No, it's really not, right? It's just, you know, massive wealth creation is happening in the equity market. Why is crypto not going with it? If we're risk on, what's going on? Why not? It's a logical question. Why? Why is Bitcoin not at new all-time highs? Why is ETH not ripping? We've got you know, ETH treasury companies, right? I mean, people are saying the entire future of finance is going to be built on Ethereum and Solana, right? So why are we not rallying? I'm not giving you I'm not saying I have an answer. I'm just, you got to look at that and say, why is crypto not kicking? What does that look like, right? It just looks like a lot of accumulation. Does it make you want to buy it? Well, you could probably talk yourself into, well, I'm going to accumulate here. If it drops lower, I'm going to buy more. I'm just going to average down. I'm not saying that that's a bad choice. But if you're a technician, if you're trying to time this and play it from the technical perspective, you got no edge there. You got nothing there, nothing other than I'm a long-term bull. That's all you got. That's it. Okay, let me go to TOTAL3. Let's try this one. Okay, alt season. Where are you? Come on, alt season. Come on. Everybody wants one. Everybody wants one. I just heard that yesterday. That's why it's in my head. It was on my Sirius. Little Halen. Okay, so I'm going to go TOTAL3E lower left. Okay, more lines. Excluding Bitcoin, ETH, and stablecoins. So this is truly, we're getting alts here. Did we complete up here? Did we complete a 1? That's not so good there. We broke that. Okay, so let's pull back, right? So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? That's hard to argue with. This is tricky to get that 5, right? But here's the impulse to finish it, right? So you can get in there from this low. We get the impulse, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we get that finish, right? Even though that's probably a triangle in there. So we get. I guess the 4 would be over here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, A, B, C. All right. What do we got here? What would you call that? 1, 2? Shit, I don't know what's making that noise. Is that? Shit, I think you guys are probably hearing that. That can be kind of annoying. I think it's Discord doing that. Okay, so what am I doing here? I've got, oh, fuck me. Hang on a second. Let me see if I can get rid of that. Where's the fucking volume control? No, I can't. Volume mixer, hang on. One sec, guys. I'm trying to get rid of that. There we go. I think that does it. All right, so kill Discord. All right, so what do we got here? 1, 2? 1. All right, so here if I draw it. Are we coming off of this as a 1, and we're going to do A, B, C? Like some more probable. Then we go up from here. Draw it here so a little cleaner. 1. There's 5 down, that's an A. There's 3 up, that's a B. Now we're looking for C, right, before you're going to be a buyer. So we may have some time. What does that take us to? Mid-November? Oh, let me get a Christmas holiday, right? So this is what he's proposing here. We've gone 1, A, B, C. We're coming down into 5, right? So now that sometimes it takes me a minute to follow his work. A, B, we're coming down for the C. So here's the hot box down here, right at the golden zone. Do you see that? I'm assuming you do, but let me just make it easier to spot. All right, so he's got a hot box down here right at this location. Always look left, right? Do we have something we can play off of? What we got here? Resistance, resistance, and then we launch, right? So coming back to that, now you know you can't trade this, but that may be positioning for the long-term rip to come. It's. Are we going to get an alt season? Well, there's no knowing. But the majors, right, I think are going to do very well over the next 12 months. Let's put it that way. But are all the alts and all the memes and all the bullshit? You know, God knows how there's so many crap coins, right? Are they all going to go? Well, some likely to. But I would stick with majors. I mean, that's the safest place, right? If you're going to allocate, right? So maybe you take 5-10% of your portfolio, right? Depending on its size that you want to play in the memes. I'm not saying people don't make money there. I mean, millionaires have been made from Fartcoin, which is, I find, I think it gives the industry a bad name. But, you know, if you've got 18-year-olds creating, never mind. I'll get off of that. Okay, so Ben B. Let's see. Hey, Ben B., you are definitely not too late. My point being, stick with the majors. You're going to do much better there than going off into the crap coins. Okay, Ben B., what are we looking at? Let's save this. It might be a short one for me. Maybe let's see the market coming down. It's likely. Okay, this is Zoom. Okay, so this looks good. What do we got here? Somebody needs an update. Oh, those are EMAs. 1, 2. 1, 2. Well, why not? Anything wrong with that? I don't see anything wrong with that. That's a little wacky. A, B, C. Clear 5. Zigzag down. What's not to like? Oh, you give me a daily. Okay, so let's get in over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, clear 5, taking it up. Oh, that's good. Okay, here's just stuff we want to pay attention to. All right, I do this every week, right? There's never been a week where I wasn't doing this. I mean, almost to the point of going, people asking me to stop doing it, right? We get it. Do you? Right, repetition. So how'd the buy work? How'd the buy work out here? Right, things you never want to do. Right, never worth it. Never worth it. And right, the self-flogging you do. If it's gonna kick here, right? Odds are very good that there'll be some sort of pullback, right? So now there will be some, particularly with equities, that can just run, right? And you got to go, okay, well, good for anyone who bought that, right? We want people to buy breakouts. We want them to continue to do that, always, right? There will always be a new crop of people who don't know better, and they'll buy them. My God, there are people, but see, it can be very effective with equities, right? Because you have earnings driving. You don't have the same. As much as severe manipulation as you do in every other asset class, right? But in equities, right, breakouts can work, right? People have built careers and, you know, educational platforms just off of, right, software just off of breakouts. In equities, everything else, you're just asking to be bent over, right? Crypto, futures, FX particularly, you're just asking for it. Please bend me over. We got Al involved here. Looks like that's a clean 50. Nice impulse here. Right? You can't, I mean, impossible to miss. 1, 2. Why not? Would you have another corner? You would. Do I have 80% odds that I get there? Yes, I do. 80 is not 100. Looks very good. Now, same thought would be up here, right? It's the same idea, right? Do I want to, what happens if I get there? Well, you'd be doing it twice. Do you see? You'd be sweeping that high and that high. See, you're a little bit late here. Let's go down to, let's go to a 1, see if we can get anything, right? See how this shapes up. Really rough. So that's, let's get that right on that corner. Oh, let's keep it simple, right? It's probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So you're looking at this going, okay, we know, right? Is there any question in anybody's mind that there's liquidity up there, right? We know there is. Just like we knew there was here, right? Here it is again. And again and again, right? I can't just keep doing it over and over again, right? So again, I'm trying to help you not be obnoxious with it. Don't buy, just don't, you can thank me later. Okay, so when we get here, right? So what do we now anticipate? Now, what do we know? What are we anticipating? Can we get this market to come back down in here, right? Well, we got some imbalances here. So let's make this easy. Let's get, oh, you got to do this in money caps. This one right here, but trade for op, right? This is the one I like to use, right? So I can see them, right? It'll give me both of them. Oh shit, I don't have them both on here. Let's get the inverse and the regs, right? So I can see I've got inverse, right? These were mitigated, right? So they went from being potentially bullish to, or pardon me, bearish to now being bullish, right? So if we come back down here into this pocket, oh yes, I'm interested. Perfect setup. That's the kind of setup there that you would take 100 out of 100 times, right? Now, is every one of them going to be profitable? Probably not. It's just the way the market moves, right? And how trading works. But you want to take it 100 out of 100 times, because I promise you, this is how the market works. The time you go, oh fuck, man, I stopped out 3 times. I'm not taking that next one. Boom. Fucking guarantee you that happens. The one you don't take is the one that goes, right? Which is why you have to maintain the discipline. If it's there and the setup is there, you take it. Now, that doesn't mean you put your stop down here. I mean, you could control the money management the same way you did on the first one, the second one, the third one. But 3 stop outs in a row, don't think, oh, fuck, I'm not taking this one. That will be the one that goes. It's just how the market works, right? It's just because why would it do that? Because the market punishes mistakes. Not taking it that third time is the mistake. Boom, it goes. Now, when we come back up here, right, you've got these 2 pivots here. This is likely bait, right? So this would be breakout bait for retail. And then you got the bigger one here. So if you're taking it from here, that's a good place for a partial. Because remember, if this is the key to Elliott Wave, right? And I want to make sure people get this. If this is one, if this is 1 and we're going to do a 2 here, and you're trying to get into the 3 up here, well, this is not optional. This must come. And not only that, it has to be an impulse. There's no diag here. This has to be an impulse. So when you get 1, 2, 1, oh, right, can you see that? How perfectly that can say it? Now I don't know that that's coming, but you can just map it out like, oh my God, look how perfectly, right? They'd sweep, but see, the breakout traders would be here. So retail's going to buy that. Oh my God, it's going. And then we're going to sweep the high. They're going to grab all that liquidity. Now, if we go up here, if we do that, where's the liquidity? Where can they come back and get more liquidity, right? If it's going to keep going, they need more fuel. What's the fuel? The fuel is your stop. It's the liquidity below. They're not going to get it up here. They have to come back for it. I'm assuming everybody understands that. So look what I've got here, just mapped out. Here, I got a corner pocket with 80% probability of getting there, right? Emphasis 80. What's my invalidation if this pivot breaks, right? If this comes back down, we break this pivot, right? Then trading principle number 4, failure to get to the median line sets up a move equal to or greater than the move that failed to get there. That would be this. But right now, I got 80% odds that that gets there. Now, how long could that take? We're on an hourly. That could be, November, right? That could be Thanksgiving. 1, 2, but we don't have this yet. We don't have this yet, right? All that still takes time to come. That's why when I started, remember, this is swing trading, not day trading, not short term, 3 to 4 days. That, you know, it's a month. 1, 2, 1, 2. Again, this part not optional, must happen, right? Or the analysis is incorrect. 1, 2. So where's the next trade, right? Is there a next trade? Well, you got 2, right? You got this one. If it stopped out, okay, well, where's that invalidate? Right here. But you got good positioning here. If that goes, take a partial, because you don't know, right? The one, you know, I'm not saying get out of everything. Just put something in your pocket right there, because you know there's liquidity there. Get a retrace. Okay, well, good thing I took the good thing I took some partials here. Do you want to reload here? How much do you like it? What's in that leg? Is there something there to say, ooh, I want to get longer? Because now, what are you trying to trade for? Now you're trading a money ball, right? You're trading the third of the third. A reminder, right? If you want to trade, if you want to get into our belt system and develop this skill set, you want to get to purple belt. That's all we let you trade, right? To build that discipline, 3s and Cs, or 3s of Cs. 3s and Cs. That's all you can trade, right? Because that's where the money is, in 3s and Cs, or the 3s of Cs. There's your roadmap. Be interesting to come back to this, Ben B, see how it does over time. Is this, you know, by the end of the year, we're going to know. God, that's a good looking setup. Shit, I'm going to trade that. Thanks for that one, Ben B. I say this all the time. Some of the best trades of the year that I get are from live streams, because I can't watch everything. It's just beautiful, right? I can't make them up any better. I can't script them any better. Okay, so that's got Ben B. All right, so I'm going to have, let me bring you guys over here. I always have you off on this far right monitor, so I can never see what you're saying. Okay, so it looks like you guys are talking about Tesla. Let's see. I got a little extra time here, so let's see. I'm going to get this one. I got the guys on X. Jarvis, a couple of you guys. Okay, so let's get over to Tesla and see what Tesla's doing. TSLA. All right, since you guys are on it right now, what are we doing here? So what is it you guys are saying? Tesla finished a WXY. All right, let's see. Finished a WXY. So I'm assuming that's going to be, what time frame are you guys on? Well, that looks like your triangle. Well, that's a little, that's, okay, well, it looks like we can get this from here. Put our Elliott Wave hat on. Okay, so let's get up. I have some Tesla. I think I have an Iron Condor on. What do I have? What do I have in Tesla? I do. I've got a call spread and an Iron Condor. Or if you guys track the option data, there's a lot of gamma, right? Not to get off onto that, but there's a lot of gamma here. So there's going to be resistance. Remember, so all gamma is how the market makers have to hedge, right? So if people are buying calls, the market makers are on the other side of that. So if the market's going to push higher, they have two choices. If it's really going to accelerate, they got to buy, right, to cover their hedge, to try and stay delta neutral. But what they'd rather is push it down a little bit so they don't have to do that. So if we come out of here, looks like we've got a clean 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 4. So I see what you're saying about the WXY. Well, let's do that. Let's put that in green here. So this one has to come over here. That's a little fat. 3, A, B, C, D, E. Right, perfect triangle. 1, 2. Look how we stall at the inverse fair value gaps, and then we ping, boom, boom, boom. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Looks like 8. Well, yeah. So I see what you're saying. So it looks like WX. Is it? Let's see. W looks more like a flat to me. A, B, C. Does it matter? All right. So what matters here? Let's look in there. Let me get you off of there for a second. All right. Things that you want to pay attention to. We know every pivot is liquidity, right? We know it. We don't have to wonder about it. So when you see that, and then you see that, and then you see, oh, what? Do you think there's any liquidity down here? Of course there is, right? You're telling me they can't get it? The market must be strong. A, B, A, B, A. I don't know that I can get that. let's go to a 1, just out of curiosity. Oh, I see where you are. You might have it there. Okay, so what he's suggesting is we got A, B, C. It's I can't tell. I think one of you guys was suggesting that, right? So there's an A, B, C. Well, even that's a little tricky. A, B, C, A, B, C. We could probably get the last one here. A, B, C. That looks like it. All right, so whoever that was, Showtime. I think you're probably right there, right? So W, X, Y into a 4. So we got 1, 2. Now, do we have a good... Is that Al? Might be. Looks a little skinny. Looks like we got a 50. Yeah, we did. Okay, so there's the push off the low. 1, 2. I don't really have a 2 here. We get a gap, right? That's always the trade-off with equities. You always have a gap. 1, 2, 3, or maybe. Let's label it. I'd like to see one more, right? Maybe you could talk yourself to that. So something, it would have to be there, right? Because we can't have a diag. You don't really. You have to kind of fill it in as the 2. Well, be careful there. That's not a great. All right, so we're gotta pay attention to that. What do we got down here? Webby's RS line. I don't know that one. It's a little tenuous there because there's not a clean. It's a little shallow as well. Let's see. Am I in log scale? Let's take it out of log scale. So all you're doing is saying, well, again, where do they usually go? We can get the 100 here. Now, 3 doesn't have to be the longest, just can't be the shortest. But if you're looking for an impulse to kick there, you're really hoping that there's more to come there. And actually, the 3 would go higher and the 4 would go higher. Well, that's again. There's a lot of gamma there. That's why I've got an iron condor on there, and then a call spread in case it kicks, right? Because of the momentum of the market. But you could look at it this way. What do we see here, right? With the exception of that, is that accumulation or distribution? What would the Elliott count suggest? Here's the impulse, right? That's what I was talking about before. This was never optional, right? That had to come. If this was going to hold as a 1, 2, do we get an impulse? Yes, we do. Does it have the right look? Yes, it does. Do we get, right? How do you spot the 4, right? The trend stops progressing, right? We consolidate. Now we're going to go up here. Where's the target? Jesus, I heard targets. I thought I heard a $700 target on somebody on Tesla today. 1, 2, 3, 4. This has got to come now. Careful up here, right? It's always a little scary up at those kind of levels, right? And you got that's likely. I think that's all-time high. If I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it is. So where do you think there's a lot of liquidity? I wouldn't shoot for the moon, right, on this move, right? Because what we're trying to do. This could easily be real. Well, no, not so easily, right? Because you're kind of stuck with that triangle, right? So this is going to complete a 5 here. Well, that's interesting because if this is A, B, C to E, which it certainly looks like it is, this has to be an extension in the 5th. Meaning, if we complete up here again, put your Elliott Wave hat on. Something topped up here. So your next. I don't know if you're playing Elliott ball, even if we stop here, you're looking for a pretty deep retrace. What would cause that? I don't know. Maybe Elon doesn't get his $1 trillion pay package, or he leaves. Right? They're interviewing other CEOs apparently internally. $1 trillion. Well, it's the age we live in. Okay, so that I had a couple over on X, and if you guys want something, I'm expecting 3 or 5 down now to complete the sideways structure. Could be, right? It's not drop dead easy to spot. No, it's down on a 60. that if that rolls over, right, you know, take off the impulse. The idea that that's 1, 2 certainly looks like it could be an ABC right there. So I'd be careful with that, right? Being uber bullish. Okay, hang on. I got wonks here. Give me the Litecoin. What is wrong with Litecoin? That was the question. Oh, let's do the full history. I know I should use Femex because that's our sponsor, but I'm looking for crypto. Oh, fuck, where are you? Oh, I guess, where is it? That's perpetual. I don't want that. Oh, fuck me, where are you? It's usually right there at the top. All right, let's go. Where's the most volume? I don't want the perpetual, I want the spot. Let's do this. We'll do it on Coinbase. All right, let's go back to the daily. Okay, right, that was the question. What's wrong with this asset? Right, I saw that on X. What is wrong with it? Well, I think we might have to go out to a weekly. And do we need to be in log scale? Probably. I could swear I saw an interview with the shit, now his name escapes me, the guy who created Litecoin. Very glad I swear to God, I think he was saying he was sorry he created Litecoin and now just wanted to own Bitcoin. Well, we look right here. You can just look right in the middle of it, right? You see the apex of this, if this is going to go as a triangle. Again, I'm on a weekly. Why is this labeled? I don't even know whose work this is. This is one of you guys, right? But it's accurate, right? Why is this a B? Because it can't be 1, 2. Right, assuming that the triangle is the right analysis, which is certainly hard to argue with. Yes, that looks impulsive. Yes, it looked like oh shit. Now that doesn't mean we couldn't get a C here. Do we have the ingredients, right? Doesn't look so good. It looks like another ABC. Well, I don't know how many million crypto coins we have, right? I mean, this used to be a major. Now it's a whatever happened to. There's no reason to trade it. Why would you? Let's see. Even from the low down here. There's nothing. There's no reason to trade it. Here's what I would do with this. I might put maybe at 300. I'd put an alert. If that kicks up to 300, I'll come back and pay attention again. Until then, this is a dead coin. Now, maybe in saying that, right, that'll get it to spark. But that's a dead cryptocurrency. It's dead. Well, per the pattern recognition here, right? That there's maybe you get a C here. Why would you trade this? Right? I wouldn't. Well, there's no reason to. TAO. TAO. Oh, what's the tether? Back to a daily. It's where everybody got bent over there that had leverage. Okay, pretty serious rejection. What can we see? Right, they got all the liquidity. Right, this one, they didn't get it here. They got them all now. It's kind of the same thing. Why would you trade that? Something down on a smaller time frame you like? Well, you're kind of fucked here. Those wicks are so disruptive. You almost have to go to a line chart to see if there's anything to work with here. Oh shit. Okay. What are you trying to talk yourself into? Let's see. Oh God, that's just obscene when that happens. So you got to look at this as just a giant fair value gap. sitting below the market. Maybe you talk yourself into this. Oh, fuck. Come here. Come here. Okay, came out impulsively off of that, right? So if I come back here, okay, it looks a little bit better. But that's not so good. A, B, C. Let's be as generous as we can to a bull. 1, 2. So what are you thinking? Let's take it out of log scale. Do I even need to be in log? Yeah, I do. 150, yeah, I do. You need this to break here because you're rolling into a possible triangle, and you can't have a triangle there. So you're losing choices here. Okay, A, B, we're going to truncate here. Can I get this into a 5? It looks like I might be able to, right? So it looks like it's going to be a ugly diag, but it's there. I mean, okay, right. So things to pay attention to, right? We know that, and we know this is sitting right there, right? So that they get it. Doesn't look like they did. They didn't. All right, so a lot of people put their stops a couple of ticks before it, right? So you don't get the slippage. So it could be, right, that you're getting this, right, the highest close, right? So you're getting that little stop here, and there's the retrace. Well, is that bad news? Well, if you're trying to stay bullish here, if you're looking for a reason to be a buyer, you'd love it to come down here a little bit lower. You have no imbalance here that's sitting naked, unmitigated. So you don't have a lot to work with. A, B, C, God, it's fucking pretty bad. Oh, you'd probably do it here. That's a lot of slop. You probably got an A that's in there. Oh, geez, if I go to a 30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it looks like you got an A. A, B, looking for C. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's pretty clean. A, B, looking for C, right? I've got nothing. Mitigated. These are mitigated, right? Well, it didn't get a close on the other side, but you're just in slop chop here. Look at the chart. I'm on a 30-minute. Why? Why do you want to buy that? Oh, I didn't want to miss it. Okay, if you want a better shot at it. Do you see what you'd be saying? Right? You'd be saying, okay, this is the 1 and this is the 2. This is the 2, and we're going to go 3 out of here. It's just the length of time, right? Is way off, right? Now, again, the market's not obligated to do anything. It's just, what does it usually do? Usually that's going to take a little bit longer. That's October, right? I mean, again, I'm on a 2-hour here, so but still, you would expect that to be have more complexity, right? So something like that. Now I like it a whole lot better coming out of there. 1, 2. Some of this imbalance, right? Otherwise, it's a little bit of a see what would happen here. Would you take that 100 out of 100 times? You got to ask yourself that. Well, if the answer is no, why are you taking it now? If the answer is yes, then you better be long. You're already long. Whoever posted this on X, you're already long, right? If you're a bull, or I don't know that you are a bull, right? But I'm assuming most people, right, are bullish. They want crypto to go, right? Again, if you journal it and you wrote it down and said, I took this trade because, well, I saw the 5 down and I just didn't think it was going to do an ABC, so I took the trade. Really? That's your journal entry for your trade progress? I think not, right? I think not. I think you'd look at that and go, I didn't take it, regardless of what happens here, right? The question, it's not about result. It's about, well, pardon me. Win, lose on any individual trade is not your objective. It's developing consistent process, because the profit will come from as a result of that. If you would take that 100 out of 100 times, then by all means have at it. If you're applying Elliott Wave, you would pause there because the length of time is not enough, right? Not that you know, that I know that. I don't know this is going to roll over and do that. But I would not take that 100 out of 100 times. What we would teach you would be, no, don't take that trade. It's not ripe. But what if it goes? Okay, well then you better put in your journal that from now on, when I see 5 down after 5 up, I'm taking every long. Because that's the system you just created for yourself. Right? And the fact that you got to win there is the worst possible outcome, because you'll do it next time. And I promise you, one of these times, it's going to be very, very ugly. You know, it's up to you, right? All I can do is, you know, counsel you based on 30 years of doing this, and, you know, everything that we teach, which is, you know, has a pretty good track record. Okay, I got everybody there. Okay, so I think I'm done. Let's see, what do we got? Unco. Vin R, no idea what that means. Unco use. Oh fuck, man, I don't know what you're talking about there. I could take 1 or 2 requests. Otherwise, it's gonna be an early day for me, and we'll watch the markets do whatever they're gonna do. Anybody got one? No, I can see you guys, so if you've got one, let me know. Otherwise, we'll call it a day. Then I'm preoccupied. I wish I could show a chart. Showtime. What do you got? Anybody? Tesla? I believe BTB is in a wave C down. Okay, I guess we're done. Yeah, I don't mind that. Let's see. Let me quickly check over here if any of the members posted. Ben B is the last one. Okay, all right, there you go. All right, well, we'll wrap. Wait a second. Oh, here you guys come. GI? Is there a GI? What are you talking about, Andrew? GI? What is that? GI? What are you talking about, Andrew? What does that say? GJ. Hang on a second. GJ. What is that? GJ. Oh, fuck. Oh, no, that can't be what you're talking about. What are you talking about? I don't know what you mean, Andrew. GJ. Okay, so let's do BTBT. Bitcoin Digital. Okay. GJ. Okay, I'll come back to it. I don't know what that is. GJ. Okay, one sec. Okay, sorry, it gets really hot in my office. Okay, let's Bit Digital. Do I have Bit Digital? Fuck, I do. It just looks like we were just looking at. Okay, hang on a second. Do I need to be in log scale? Maybe I do. Bit Digital. Oh, I can't say I love this. Well, just as your eye looks at that, what do you not see that? Okay, very, very, very impulsive price action. Oh, chop. Is Al involved? Right, always got to check. Is Al involved? Where is he? Right, so it looks like we're hammering the 50. I would want a look at volume profile here. I would take it from the low. Oh, right, interesting, right? We're right on the edge of value, right? If you don't, you must know, right? The algos are very responsive to volume profile, right? So you want to buy that? Well, okay, so we're okay. Let's do it, right? So we'd have to. Fuck me. You can't get an impulse in there. You can get an ABC. That's too bad, right? So we can get an ABC here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I can get an ABC up. Can't get an impulse. I can get this. The C is an impulse. I got that, but I can't get the rest of it. All right, so I'm kind of stuck with that. Now I got the same thing coming down. An A, B, C. Let's take you down, right? So I got an ABC. That's too big. Let's take you down, right? ABC. Is that an impulse? Let's be accommodating to the bull. 1, 2, right? That's your best case, right? So you're coming off of, whoops. Oh, let's bring you over here. This is too bad, right? It doesn't mean it can't go, but okay. So let's label it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What do we see here? Just again, a reminder, you teach through repetition. You don't want to be that guy. Oh, but I bet it'll drop off at the low, right? It won't happen at the low, will it? Don't just never be that guy that buys the high or sells the low, right? It's probably the worst feeling in the market, right? To buy the high or sell the low. You're doing it to yourself. Let's see how we look here off the low. Decent. Okay, get off there. Right to a 50. Okay, that's decent. But do I get 1, 2, A, B, C? That's all. That's clean, right? You got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you got a diag here. 3 into the B. Impulse into the C. 1, 2. Oh, it's a daily. Okay, right. So if you're very accommodating, you're going with a diag here. Come here. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So you need this, right? We have to get new highs here. Let's get that off here. This will be that will be major resistance, right? So you want to be aware of that. So it's always a good idea to kind of wick that off and pull it left. What are we going to run into? Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Can I get that? Well, things we want to look for in a diag. We want to look for the 4 at the 50 on a pivot from the beginning of the 1 through the pivot of the 3. Looks like you might be in that ballpark. And you want golden. Okay, so we've got golden here for the 4, right, on the assumption that we're going to finish this. Looks like AB could be in. Let's pull this over. AB. Looking for C. So I wouldn't be assuming a huge rip here without another correction. So you might have that. Let's get this out here. Oh, it's just shit. You're kind of stuck with that. Could we go that high? Well, here's what I see happening. Hit the golden and start the retrace. So does that mean there's a trade here? Well, what are you doing here, right? Look at the last couple of times that they tried to buy the breakout outside of the value area. Now you can say, well, yeah, I know they failed the last couple of times, but it's going to make it this time. I'm sure of it. Are you? Where's the better trade, right? Let this, because think about the leg that you're in, right? You're already. Again, I come back to, okay, you're taking a snapshot here. You're putting this in your trade journal, and you're saying, I bought that because. Well, I was pretty sure that even though the algos, every time we got to the high end of value, had sold it here, that they were not going to do it this time. Well, that may be true, or maybe you get this, but where's the better trade, right? Let that complete and come back for the 50. Then you're into a 1, 2. See, what you're doing there is you're confirming the 1. So it gives you much greater conviction in this trade, because if this is going to be a 1, if this is the 1 and this is the 2, and we're going to go into an impulse here, and we're going to head up towards these bigger, high prices up here. I got a 5. We're going much higher, right, per this, right? So these bit digital, right? If we're going to have a big crypto bull, this is going to go. Well, this leg here is the leg you want to be in. Because that now you've got a 1, 2, 1, 2. So this must go impulsive. Where might you be looking for that? Now, again, I don't have this. Right here, that's the trade I'd be looking for. Right here, looking for that. Right there. Let's see. Do you see how this could play? Right? Where's the liquidity going to be? Oh, pardon me. They already got that. It's going to be right there. Now, the average retail trader will not know there's a golden zone there, right? So they're going to think, oh, breakout, right? And they'll likely buy it right into the golden zone. It'll kick. Again, there's no knowing, right? But this would be a really, really not a great place to be a buyer. Doesn't mean it can't get through, right? For every one that holds, there's got to be one that breaks, right? So I'm not saying it can't get through, but again, you're journaling your trades. You're looking at that going, why did I buy that, knowing that golden zone was there? Because if you get faced, then, boy, the self-flogging gets pretty severe there. Oh, I'm such a dumbass. Why did I do that? God damn it. I knew that, right? Then that cycle is very, very damaging to you psychologically. So you want to come back and just ask yourself before you pull the trigger, would I take this trade 100 out of 100 times? Am I going to take this trade every time? Well, maybe you will, right? Then, okay, I'm trading that kick up to the 5. Even though I see this, I see all the other times that happened, it's going to work this time. They're going to do it, right? It's crypto so bullish, right? It's going to go. Well, even if it does complete here, is that the trade you want? Or is it this one? I'll take that one. What else do I got? Oh, you guys are all over the place. Andrew. Oh, I see what you mean, Andrew. Oh, you give me. We get so little. We get so little FX here, which always kind of surprises me. JG, I got you. Okay, all right. So you're giving me lingo. All right, so I got to do this because he was very generous last week. GBP, GBP, JPY. Fuck, I can't remember. Let's go to and all right, and get volume. All right, at least I can get a volume profile. So let's go out to the daily. Okay, I don't need to be in log scale. Okay, all right, so let's pull out here. Okay, right? If you want to talk about the market with the greatest amount of manipulation, it's FX, right? There's no more manipulated market than FX, right? Probably the hardest to trade because of the way the market makers, it's challenging, right? You got to be very good to trade this. Okay, so we could come off of the low here back in 21. So what do we have here? What would your first thought be? I mean, just to your eye, what does it look like? Looks like 1, 2, 3. How do we identify the 4, right? We stop progressing that trend. Looks like you finished something here. Looks like you're going up. All right, would it have the right look? Yeah, would definitely have the right look. This got a little weird. That's pretty severe. That's a little tricky up there. This was some macro news. Those are closes to and through. Well, you're probably going to have to pull that. Yeah, let's try and keep it simple. Can I get a diag in there? I think I can. Let's keep it on the simple side. 2, 3, 4, 5. Looks like those two are about the same. Ah, come here. It looks like you'd be okay here with a contracting diag. Okay, so we're coming off the low there. Little tells that you want to look for. We can't get that liquidity? Really? Must be bullish. Let's go to a 4 on this. Where are you going with that? God, not much of a 2 there. Well, let's stay on the hard right edge. Looks like you've got a sequence going here. Second target. So I would assume that they'll stay with that. By them, I mean algos. There's Al doing his thing. It's probably here as well, right? They like to move in a series. Bring this up. You probably got him here too, off the low. That's a little sloppy there. If I can get it right on there. Looks like they held. Oops, it got through. So no there. They get it on the retrace. They did. Okay, so here we got them. Third target. You probably got them again there, again there, again there, again there, right? You see how they work that, right? They just go in a series of 1, 2, 3, 4. They keep it going, right? So you trade these until they fail. So this actually would be just, you could just trade this off of the measured moves. The Elliott is a little suspect there. You're gonna have to go way out to a higher time frame to get clean on that. I wouldn't even put the Elliott on that. I would just trade off of this. Now you could look at this as 1, 2, oh fuck, 3, 4, some sort of a kick here. But see, in this kind of a sequence here, where you can just see the repetition of what the algo is doing, yeah, you could take that. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean sit there and buy it with a limit order. You're already a little bit late to this. You got all the conditions you'd be looking for here. Here's the liquidity sweep, right? So now let's go to a 1. It's not right. It's not quite, well, maybe. You got an inversion, right? So that's so 60. Here, well, here, so this move down, this is your, per ICT language, right? There's your change in state of delivery, but you don't have a close above it, right? So I would be cautious there. This move down here is the you could almost think of that as just a giant order block. Oh, fuck, come here, right? So here is all of this coming down. Now we want to get a close above. So I'd be looking for this, God damn it, come here, to come up, find some resistance up here because you've got this imbalance, and then I'd be looking for that to come back. Right, so I'd be looking for something, right? If you can get in a 3, all the better, and then I would be looking there. So since this algo is clearly dominating, that's where I would be looking to trade that. Oh, come here. Right there. Right off of the very, oh shit, if I go down, there's probably one there. Yeah, there is. All right, so here's the fair value gap sitting right there. All right, so that's the one I would be looking for. You got a lot of this imbalance to deal with, right? So this is not fully mitigated. You don't quite have clean Elliott, so I'd be looking like that, right? So come back here, that little fair value gap. You still want to see this get a close above to, right? This is all one time framing, right? We don't break a high. It's all down, right? New lows. No candles high gets broken. You got a little inside bar there that wouldn't count. So this has to break, and then you want up and then back down. But don't take the first one, right? That's where little Elliott's going to help. That's the sucker play, right? This one, you want to get the second one, and then you could, because this becomes inducement, right? As they say, right? This would be what retail's not going to see. They're going to see this. They're going to think, oh, low is in, we're going, right? But leaving that pivot here just sets up this move down here to sweep that liquidity and then go. Okay, so Jesus, I got sidetracked there in a whole market structure thing. Okay, so what else we got? Stellar. Here, I think I was thinking getting off early, and now I'm gonna go the distance. What did the market do? Did he announce yet? Did we get it? Did we get the announcement yet? I was very confused on this daily and 4. Oh, good. I'm glad that happened. Yeah, it is. The Elliott is not clean there, so don't force it. Let's go Stella on Coinbase. Why not, right? That was the request. XLM? Yeah. XLM. Okay, let's get out to a daily. Get off that 15. Did we get the news yet? Yeah, we should have. We should have. Looks like the market's gone. Oh, well, you can't. Don't pay attention to the first move. Okay, Stella, do we need to be in log scale? Yeah, I think we do. Okay, all right. I think we've done this before. You lost the big dog there, but could this be 1, 2? Could be. Let's go weekly. See that, particularly on these massive pump dumps, right? That's where you got to get perspective out of log, because it distorts so much to your eye. So what do you think? 1 2 1 2 1 2. See, you got to be careful about thinking. Oh, here, shit. Could we even do it here? Looks like you might. 1 2 3. Look how deep that is, right? I mean, would that be what your thought is out of log scale? Is that it's 1 2 3 4? I think that's a little hopium. Even though here it certainly looks a lot better if I do it this way. All right, we broke here. 1 2. Well, let's give it benefit of the doubt. So let's focus over here. Well, this is the low that I would be paying attention to down here. It doesn't right. Just remember, it's always a snapshot in time, right? Whatever we're doing here, this sure looks like A, B, doesn't it? It's not a, well, let's go to the daily. So that's, just looks like Bitcoin, right? We just did the same thing. It's going to be tough to work around this. Right? It's just, it is, right? It is an ABC. So there is no working around it. There's just accepting it. Okay, all right, so A, B, it's not what you want to see, right? Does it have to come down here? Well, I would feel better buying it, right? Now all of this imbalance is now being corrected, right? You're getting those being mitigated. 1 2 3 4. It's just not ripe. Even, is Al involved here? I don't think he is. I think that may be too far. That was too far. So if you're anxious, right, because you either got it or you want to get some, where's the liquidity, right? So it's taken some internal liquidity here. It would have to get all of a sudden very bullish here. I'm reluctant to call this 1 2 3. I would leave this unlabeled until it reveals itself a bit more. Even A, B, W, X. Oh shit! You might have a play here. Although I was A, B, C, A. That looks like 5 anyway. But you could probably do A, B, C there. A, B, 1 2, or into a triangle for the Y. A, B, C, D, E. You might be able to tuck yourself into that, but the point being, okay, so why, right? This is what you do when you're like, oh God, I want this one to go because I have it. Well, if you have it, there's no reason to get out. If you sat through all of this, you're likely a hodler. So if it goes lower, so be it, right? You're playing long term. As an entry, there's nothing here to enter from. There's no reason. Again, as I like to say, what's your edge here? Not pattern recognition, certainly. Oh, you probably got trend lines here that they're going to have to get cleared. You're kind of triangle-ish like that. This all, and I want to get bodies. I'll take bodies if I can't, if it won't clean it on wicks. Okay, right, so I've got a little, we're coming to the apex of that. We're likely to get a break, but what would the Elliott imply? 1 2, that's not 3. 1 2 3 4, right? The balance is completely, well, fuck. Could we even pull that off and go 1 2 3? Here's the most bullish I could give you here. That's your best bet. And that's iffy. But the fact that we didn't overlap here, it's okay, maybe. You might have your Y in here. All right, so oh fuck. Let's do it that way. Although in strict Elliott, as I was schooled on last week. Well, my guys, if I'm going to do this as I have to have zigzag here. Apparently, per Elliott Wave International, I have to have zigzags in that correction. So this is tenuous at best, but okay, again, take a snapshot, put it in your journal. What's your rationale for buying that? Well, I was convinced it was a 4. Okay. Well, if you're convinced that's a 4, let's go down to a 1 hour and say, what do I have here that I can play off of? Do I have anything starting here that looks encouraging? 1, 2, right? So look what you're saying. You're saying, okay, we're gonna get 3, and then I'm gonna get another 3, and then I'm gonna get another 3 and another 3. Maybe I've got it here. This would have to be your Y would have to be here. Right, see, maybe we can do this legit. 1, 2. Is that Al? A little sloppy. You're here. You'd have to go A, B, C. There's just not. You're working too hard, right? It shouldn't be such a struggle. The best trades, you'll pull the chart up and you go, oh my God, I got to buy it right this second. You don't have to grind through the count and go, fuck, what the. Oh, fuck me. What is it? I don't know what that is. That's not the trade you want. You want the trade that you pull, like that very first one we looked at, like, oh my God, how do you even miss it, right? A fifth grader could see this one. This is, you're either in and you're hodling, or there's no reason to be in. I wouldn't short it. I wouldn't buy it. You're just sitting. What else do I have here? You started me on it. Yeah, Andrew, I know. Quarter point, Stella, yikes, excellent. I think I got everybody. Okay, what are we doing? Oh, a quarter point, what a shocker. I think somebody told me that. So what did the market do? Now it's all over the place, right? I mean, pretty much it was all, they traded it all the last 2 days, Monday and Tuesday. Today is, let's see how we are next week. Okay, I think we're done. All right, guys, I'm going to go get something to eat. Oh, look at that. I'm getting out of here 15 minutes early. Wait, I got a new message. Somebody gave me a chart. I guess not. Something in the common room. Hang on. Let's see if there's one more while I got it. That's it. Okay. All right, guys. I'm going to wrap it. Thanks to those who hung out here. Right? I know many of you watch on the replay. That's why we do the time codes, so you don't have to sit through a lot of the stuff you're not interested in. Okay. Thank you, guys. I'll be back on Friday for the regular video on Friday, and we'll